Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports.
Well, Coach, the calendar may say autumn, but temperatures are still pretty sweltering here in North Florida. But the good news, the radar is clear. Still, hydration will be key today at TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville. Today, we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the New Orleans Saints. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And the Jacksonville Jaguars. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They're led out by their quarterback. Started his career as a Florida Gator, finished at Louisiana Tech. It's Jeff Driscoll.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage. Stuff him in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, set the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. They'll drop to throw. He's going to launch this thing way down. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things that I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A good pickup there at 22. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got us a turnover. We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
They'll try to right side with Murray. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And he's all the way down to the 13-yard line. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
From the red zone now, Bridgewater. And this is Cook with a grab.
Holding offense.
They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. From the gun, Bridgewater. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Alvin Kamara, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Well, he wasn't the guy they were initially going for, but after going through the progressions, it worked.
When you have plenty of people who can catch the football, you don't always have to go to your primary target, and sometimes that target is actually covered. Nice job coming off of that and getting it to someone who was open.
And the man out of the backfield gets in for the score. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 the score as they start 1st and 10. They start the drive with a give to Blue. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. He was looking for James O'Shaughnessy as tight end, but now it's 3rd down. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
He'll get that to DeValve, the tight end. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 44-yard line. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Encroachment, defense.
Jumpy on the right side of the line.
Sometimes when you're on the end, a little bit farther away from the ball, any type of movement will get you to jump, and that's exactly what happened there.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
They give him 5 yards there, and it's enough for the first. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings that they kind of...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 27. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. The tight end Seth DeValve, the intended receiver. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That'll allow him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Bridgewater. That'll be complete to Cook. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. The big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pumps from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Now on 2nd and 13. Bridgewater eluding the pressure right. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Saints with the football here to begin quarter number 2. They're in the midst of a nice drive, but facing a 3rd and long here. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And Lutz puts this one through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. Interesting stat line right now. Technically, he's completed 4 passes, 2 to his team and then 2 to the wrong team.
It makes you wonder what he's seeing downfield, because he has completed 2 passes to his own team, but the interceptions are troubling. Is he going through the wrong reads, the wrong progressions? Is he getting fooled by defenses? They've got to figure that out over on the sidelines, working on that Surface Pro to see what they see. Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
And a decent little gain puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down. And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. They'll set up a throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially given 15. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking, because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly.
Let's go. Let's go. After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
On 2nd and 12, Bridgewater dancing to his left. There he goes inside the 30. And he slides to avoid the hit. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down and a 21-yard gain.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Check. And that QB's trash. Let's go.
On first down, Murray. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
On second and 11 now, Bridgewater. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Crunch. My 50.
From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. The open man is Smith. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
The Saints spent a third-round pick on Traquan Smith out of UCF in 2018, and what a thrilling season for him. He was the guy that caught the pass from Drew Brees that moved him past Peyton Manning to become the all-time leading passer in NFL history.
And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them.
That is caught. Traquan Smith. Touchdown, Saints. Traquan Smith. His second touchdown on the season. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball out of the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Well, later tonight, we have more football. Sunday night football, a good one out west. Steelers and Chargers might see equal amounts of black and gold mixed with a powder blue in the stands for that one. And then tomorrow, Monday night football, Detroit and Green Bay battle in the NFC North from Lambeau Field. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be second and 11. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well. And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
This is fielded at the 27. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Getting set to go here, Teddy Bridgewater and company marches back onto the field. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence, does a great deal for your team, gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Bridgewater to throw it. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Traquan Smith, the intended receiver. 3rd down here.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. Looking long for Thomas. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively. But instead it just brings up 4th down. I don't know. He had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know?
Yeah.
The mental focus.
Yeah, that's true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. Look at DJ Chark as he and the rest of the offense head back out. With them losing here in the 2nd quarter and his limited productivity so far, you'd have to think they're going to try to look to him a little bit more, right?
I would guess you would start to see maybe some quick screens, some hitches, anything to get the ball in his hands quickly and let him try and do some damage after the catch. Or maybe just flip some formations and keep him isolated where it's more of a one-on-one route and get the ball to him.
I say just 4 verts, right?
Yeah, why not? 4 verts. One of the best routes in football. Hard to cover each guy all the way along the route.
So far, just 1 catch for him. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. On 2nd and 11 now. Driscoll looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. 16 yards, a 1st down. He'll drop to throw. And this one into the hands of DJ Chark. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Driscoll trying to get it there to D.D. Westbrook. And it's 3rd and 4.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
He's been a busy man here in this 1st half as he gets it away. This is taken at the 18. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get reeled in all the time when you sit on the ball. I think that they will try and move the ball downfield and try and squeeze a few more points out of this 1st half. They'll be careful. They'll be a little bit cautious at times, but also they will attack downfield and try and get in position for at least 3 points.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Here's Bridgewater. Now he'll escape to his right. And he will find a man here as Thomas comes open. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the 1st half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Bridgewater. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Calais Campbell, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. This quarterback now 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. This is caught. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. This one taken just inside the 10. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. To throw, Bridgewater. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively, because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. He'll rifle this one deep. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, New Orleans. Jared Cook, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. And, you know, you and I praise tight ends in today's game a lot for being just like a bigger-bodied wide receiver. Boy, a play that long from that position, you just didn't used to see that as much.
No, you were really just counting on the tight end position to catch the football and get what they got on the catch. And now it's the run after the catch that makes them so dangerous. Hard to bring those big guys down when they get rolling.
Couldn't bring him down here. Got into the end zone. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Cameron Jordan make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
A gain of 28 yards there and give them a 1st down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
But it's not been the best game for him. But he definitely tried to get by with a little help from his friend there, trying to create a big play.
Couldn't do it, fell incomplete. But you're right, hasn't been a banner game here in the second half, just trying to get going.
Big thing is trying to keep confidence up and continue to fire.
The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's second and 2. They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 12 yards there and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On first down, Murray. He'll have a first down past the 40. And finally, down at the 41-yard line. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
A run there on first down and a pretty good one at 5 yards, so make it second and 5. Up from the secondary to make the tackle, Jalen Ramsey.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Second and 5 now. Bridgewater. He gets it to Thomas. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 43.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
They'll run on first down. It's Murray, and he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's second and 7. They'll run. This is Kamara. Able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. To throw is Bridgewater. And the throw there going to be incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Driscoll, blitz coming, and down he goes. Cameron Jordan in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. A big one there for the Jags. 18 yards, first down. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. On first down, it's Blue. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. He'll look to throw. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Being just short of midfield, they decide to take a crack at it on 4th down. They don't come through.
Sometimes it's just showing confidence in your defense. You know that they're good, and they'll take care of you. A lot of coaches during the week will announce to their team, we're going to be aggressive, guys. We're going to go for it. Hey, defense, you got me? A little bit of a challenge to them to see if they'll pick up the rest of the team.
We'll see how they respond now. On 2nd down, Kamara. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down. Now Bridgewater. The 20. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So retract the yardage and retract the touchdown.
And retract the chunk play. Big strike there to get the touchdown. Now they've got to take it back and see if they've got another one still in their arsenal.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? Here's Bridgewater. He's going to rifle one deep left side. This is caught inside the 15. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 42 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Kill, turn up,
Throwing is Bridgewater. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. The Pro Bowler Michael Thomas was the intended receiver, but it's going to be 2nd down. And the coach has decided to challenge this play. He has tossed down the red flag.
The previous play is under review.
The wide receiver, the ball carrier, intended for Michael Thomas.
After review.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Latavius Murray, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about, in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Alex Anzalone in there to get him. It's a loss of 5.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
And he's got it. Got his man on the end round. Complete. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the 4th quarter here. You've held the team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Driscoll. The intended receiver was set to Valve. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. I actually have heard of a coach in the past who took...
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Cameron Jordan has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
That's fielded at the 8-yard line. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Michael Thomas now heading back onto the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
They run it again with Kamara. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
On 3rd down, Bridgewater. He's going to rifle one deep left. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way to the opposite 49-yard line. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 43 yards.
Saints.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Here's Murray. 20! That one good for 37 yards.
Let's go!
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Yannick Ngakoue in on the stop. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
In the back. Offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
44. Defense wins championships, baby.
They run with Washington. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. A.J. Boye up to make the tackle.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
So this one, a victory here for New Orleans. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for New Orleans, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to the Windy City to take on the Bears. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, the losses are piling up as they drop to 1-5 now. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.